Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my Facebook page and my Twitter. Okay, wherever you are joining me today, welcome. It is a good morning. It's raining here in Pietermaritzburg. Okay, how is the weather wherever you are? Listen, let's do the countdown and then let's do this review, you guys, because I want to talk about the Mommy Club. I did not have time to do it yesterday. We are going to do it today, okay? Because there's a lot of drama going on with these ladies. We are seeing a lot of immaturity. The show is going down, okay? It's going like this. Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to my channel. And on this channel, Mama reality TV shows. I'm a celebrities, kanye nama YouTubers. If it's your first time joining me today and you think you like this channel, you like the content over here, do not forget to press the subscribe button. If the button is black, it means you haven't subscribed. And together there's a notification bell there that you can in the Zella so that you can get notifications. Uma ngabe sifaka umsebenzi omusha, or we are doing the lives over here. If you are there by Facebook, welcome. Please follow the page and also follow me on Twitter. You guys, listen, we're going to talk about this show because, like I said, that it's going like this. This was the finale episode, you guys. It's a finale episode, so you have to watch this episode with the finale eyes. Okay, if you are a reality show lover, we all know what happens with the finales. They always want to get the drama at the end, you guys, and they always try to get the ladies to fight. Okay, I don't like that about the reality shows, because every time it's reality shows about women's lives, they're always trying to get the women to fight, and they a lot of the times they succeed. If I was on a reality show, you guys, and we were trying to one, make the show work, fine, we're going to have drama, I would accept that. But two, if we are trying to still keep the show classy, what I was going to do, if I was these ladies, one of these ladies, I was going to, make a phone call to all of the ladies, or open a WhatsApp group and say, listen, ladies, I know we have issues with each other, and it's a good thing that they want us to shoot this one last scene where we iron things out with each other, because of course the purpose of them going on this boat ride was for them to resolve things. But we also know that the producers were hoping for them to start some drama, unnecessary drama at that. So I was going to say, listen, you guys, let's do this scene, okay? Let's be honest. Let's talk about how we feel about each other. Let's talk about the issues that we have with each other, so that obviously the producers can get what they need from the scene. But let's make sure that when we walk out of the table, we are walking out having iron things out. So let's show some maturity towards the end. Okay, it did not make sense to me that this was the finale, but people didn't want to talk. Okay, and that's a problem about hiring people that don't really need jobs. Okay, if somebody is saying, okay, listen, I don't really need to work because my husband over here has all the money in the world. Okay, I have a company, but the company is just a name. We've never seen this person go to work, but they talk about they have so many companies. Okay, they have so many companies, they have so many jobs. Okay, so when you have people in a reality show that don't really need the job, they're not really going to work. Okay, what was the reason for Mrs. Mobs to be sitting there like, get me out of this boat now? Okay. Lady, you are at work. Okay, imagine me after 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm at this employer now. After 8 o'clock, I'm like, get me out of this office now. Okay, my employer is gonna be like, okay, on the 20th, can you please get out of your bank account too? So that's a problem, you guys, with hiring people that don't really need the jobs. I know the show is about these rich women, you know, So they have to hire them to do the show, but that's the problem. Sometimes they just don't work. Okay, they just sit there, they don't want to talk, they don't want to confront anybody. And it was a boring episode for a finale episode. Okay, it's not one of my favorite episodes, I have to say that. Hello, Milano. Halagasha, we are within, dearest and beloved. Oh, jeez, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. So you guys listen, the last episode, it was a mess. They were at Nunu Rai's house. Okay, they are complaining about the baby. They was crying the whole time. I don't know how they were able to edit the baby's cry from what we saw, because guys, I didn't hear much of the crying, but these ladies are acting like the baby was crying from the beginning to the end of the episode. Okay, they're complaining about the baby crying. They're complaining about the fact that Nonora invited them to their house and she was shouting at her own house. And then Nonora is like, what if that's what we do at my house? Okay. what if what if we scream and shout at my house? So what's the problem with that? You're not gonna come to my house and come with your own rules. Okay, if you don't shout at your house, if babies don't cry at your house, and if your baby cries at your house and you don't ignore them, that's not what we do at my house. Okay. Like the fact that Nunurai is crazy like that. I'm like, Nunurai, that's not the point. Okay, you were supposed to go and attend to the baby and then come back over here. Listen, you guys, I'm going to share some of the tweets that I tweeted yesterday while watching the show, because those were my original feelings about the show overall when it comes to how it went with the last episode. So I'm going to talk about that, and then we're going to get into what's going on with this boat ride. Basically, you guys, it was the finale episode, and we only got two scenes. Okay, they went on a boat ride, and then another scene was a damage control scene by the producers, because they felt and saw and heard that people complained about. Maybe they even shot this scene after the show had premiered. Okay, because of course people were complaining about that homophobic comment that Omuhle had made on the show. And I think it's interesting that it's the last episode, the last scene that we get on the show. So I feel like they might have wrapped up already the shooting of the show, and then after hearing everybody's complaints about what had been said on the show, they decided, let's go back and just shoot this one scene. You have to apologize. So I question how genuine that apology Ka Omuhle was, because I mean, why did it happen right at the end? I also don't understand why Omuhle was not invited to attend the finale. Okay, why wasn't she there? I understand if Nonora is going to say, I don't want to be around Omuhle, but this was not Nonorai's event. This was supposed to be Ratile's event. But we also know that none of these events are really the ladies' events, guys, if we're being honest. Okay, if we're being honest, none of the events are their events. It's the production's events. Okay, so they just choose. It's okay, this one you'll be the host, and then this one you'll be the host. That's why you have women that will be launching their own products on the show, but they don't really talk much about their products at the launch of their products. Okay, so it's like we're just shooting the show over here. It's not like we consent so much about your products that you are launching. Okay, good morning, Nonhlanhla Mpele. Good morning, good morning. Paul Laura is here. Good morning, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Made it today. Good. Okay. It's in the middle of the week. Okay, we are almost done, right in the middle of the week. If you've woken up 3 times this week, you know you've done well. Okay, you've done really, really well, and you are open to go on your phone and interact with people. It's good, you guys. It's good. So, you guys, let me just go to this over here. Where is my Twitter? I had it open. I had it opened over here. Listen, you guys. You know what? I have disappointments when it comes to Uheb, you guys. If you've been watching my reviews on the Mummy Club, you would know that Happy was my favorite from the beginning. I said it, you guys. I said I liked Happy's storyline or storylines. Is the thing so bad? Let me see here. Let me see on YouTube. because it looks bad here, the quality. Anyway, you guys, I've said that with the Mommy Club, Happy was my favorite because I liked her storyline. I like how genuine she was. But you guys, I don't want to lie. I think my feelings are changing when it comes to Happy now because she just seemed to be an ass kisser now. Okay, she's just kissing a lot of ass, especially when it comes to what's the lady? Mrs. Mobs. Okay, she seemed to be wanting to kiss Mrs. Mobs behind. Okay, so I feel like it's hard to be a genuine and honest as a cast member if you are concerned about pleasing somebody. So I feel like she's just striving to agree with everything that Mrs. Mobs says and does. She wants to do exactly the same thing as Mrs. Mobs, and I don't like that because I just feel like we're not getting the genuine happy because of that. Okay, it looks good on YouTube. I don't know why it's freezing on Twitter over there. Okay, so listen, you guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, this is me. This is my account over here. Please make sure that you do that, you guys. So this is what I tweeted yesterday, and I want to talk about it because it is part of how I was feeling yesterday about the show. Okay, so listen, Mrs. Mobs and Happy, more so Happy, were my favorite at the beginning of the season. And I feel like here they started acting like spoiled brats because they didn't want to talk much on the show. How are you shooting a reality show, but you don't want to talk? Okay, how are you going to get the scene out of people that don't want to talk? Look at Mrs. Mobs here. Look at her here looking like a spoiled brat. Okay, I don't want to talk. I want out of this boat. And then here I talked about how Happy, it looks like now she just wants to be kissing Mrs. Mobs behind, and she's always now sitting next to Mrs. Mobs and following her around. I'm like, Happy, I'm losing some respect for you. You are on a show as an individual. You know, you're not Mrs. Mob's husband or sidekick. Okay, you are an individual. You don't have to walk out of everything that Mrs. Mobs walks out of. Okay, I don't get that. Okay, they are even mad that Miss Manche, when they walk out of meetings or events, they do Miss Manche is not walking out with them. They don't get that. Okay, why is she not walking out with us? How can we be the only ones that are acting immature? Okay, and then I said this about Nunurai. Nunurai is a mess, but without her mess, the show would be boring. Listen, Nunurai is a mess, you guys. She's a hard one to communicate with. She is all over the place. She will repeat the same thing over and over and over again. But imagine this show without that mess. Okay, this will be a boring show. This will be a really, really boring show without her being the mess. Okay, so I was like, listen, this lady is a mess, but I don't know if we could do this show without the mess. It's like at this point, as much as I really feel like Happy worked this season, you guys, she gave us a lot of scenes that we could relate to, like really high value content in terms of her relationship with her daughter or daughters, with her kids, basically, and sharing the things that happened with her marriage, her late husband, and with this new relationship that all of us are not sure what's happening with it. She shared a lot, okay? But I do feel like Nunurai is giving a lot, you know, of her own messy self. She's not trying to act perfect. And I do feel like that works for the show. And I was like, you guys, because listen, Miss Manche, I'm always just feeling like I'm not sure about her. Sometimes Ngati, she is pretending. I don't know how genuine she is. But I was surprised that last night I was like, you know, I'm shocked that I feel like she's the only person that was making sense. Okay. Because she's like, listen, you guys, we do need to talk about what's happening with our friendships. Okay. If you have an issue with me, talk to me. If you have an issue with someone, so that's the only thing that was short of them saying was to say, listen, guys, we are shooting the finale. Let's do the finale, because the finale is how do we wrap things up and prepare for the next season. Leave people feeling like they want the next season. Okay. So when it ended, I was like, I'm not even sure if I want to see these ladies next season. That's how bad that finale episode was. It didn't leave me feeling like I want more next season. So I don't know, you guys. They will probably get the new season just because I think that people were watching the show, but I really don't feel like it was that good. So please, guys, make sure that you follow me over there on Twitter. So when they're going to the Val for like a boat ride, uh, Uratile and Nunurai are driving in the same car. Okay. I don't know. Like I say, guys, I'm still not sure how genuine the friendship is. I feel like honestly, Nunurai is showing up as herself. You know, she showed up as herself to spend time with Mrs. Mobs, to spend time with Miss Manche. And I think with Miss Manche, they are sort of building a friendship that is somewhat genuine. It's going to depend, are they spending time now after they are done shooting the show, or they were only doing it while they were shooting the show? I don't know, you guys. I think all of that depends, you guys. So with Ratile, because Ratile is like, she acts one way when she's with a cast member, but then in the diary sessions she will be saying something different. So for me, how genuine she is, I think she wants to appear as this classy person that is not going to throw people under the bus. But we saw her do some throwing under the train this in this episode. So they're driving together, and then Mrs. Mobs and Her Majesty were also driving together, and Miss Manch is like the one that is trying to look like, listen, I don't choose sides. Okay, sometimes not choosing a side is choosing a side. Okay, sometimes not choosing a side is choosing a side. Listen, I do feel like with Miss Manche and Mrs. Mobs, their friendship is at a weird place. But I do feel like with Mrs. Mobs, her real friend, or the person that she is a real friend to, is Omuhle. I don't think that she's a real friend to Happy. I think that with Happy, it was like a good person to come together with, because I feel like in a friendship, Happy becomes a follower, which is a surprise to me, because Happy is this independent woman, businesswoman, and all of that. But it looks like when it comes to friendships, she becomes a follower. I don't understand. Like, even if you guys will like somebody, you don't always agree with somebody, especially you're shooting a show. It's an ensemble of people from as individuals. You know, you're not coming together because this person is your business partner or whatever. So you have to stand on your own, you know. So I do feel like it's easy for Mrs. Mobs to get along with Happy, because Happy becomes a follower in a friendship. So they were driving together, and Miss Mancha was alone. Omuhle was not invited, or she did not come. Okay, they didn't really say, you guys. It was weird to me that this is a finale, but she wasn't there. I guess she's busy, because in this episode she did call herself a Beyonce. Okay. Listen, you guys, it's good for us to guess ourselves up sometimes. I am Winnie Mandela some days. Okay, I am Oprah Winfrey some days. Sometimes I'm Gail. Sometimes I'm Gail. So, it's good for her. But I'm like, girl, we are still looking for the scenes on these two shows that people are saying you are on. People said you were on Mubango. I've been trying to find the scene. Okay. Why is it difficult to find the scene if you are Beyonce of South Africa? Beyonce of Joburg, okay? And also on Uzalo, I haven't found a scene where Omuhle is on, guys. If you've got a link, send it to me. Send it to me, because I'm like, we're still trying to find what show you on, and you're over here. Oh no, she didn't call herself a Beyonce. She called herself and Kim Kardashian. Oh, I need to change my title. But she might as well be Beyonce. Because she's like, imagine Kim Kardashian being worried about what people are saying about them online, you guys. So they arrive. Listen, the boat was not too small, not too big, but listen, I was expecting something a little bit more fancy. Okay, they should have called like Tonto's Bay. They should have called like Tonto's Bay and borrowed their boat. Okay, we needed to see something fancy, you guys, but it was okay. It was beautiful, but not too much. It was like, okay, it's a boat, and it's enough for them to fit in and not end up slapping each other on this boat here, you guys. And of course, when they arrive, there's a lot of tension, because everybody is still thinking about what happened on the show, and also while they are riding to where they are going, they are talking about what happened at the event. Okay, the things that I wrote down as basically the issues here: there's a satellite dish issue that was raised. There's people calling each other ghetto because of how they are not happy with how people are behaving. And then there is the baby daddy issue. Who's the baby dad? Guys, listen, I've never seen somebody avoid a question as much as Omuhle has avoided this question, you guys. It's like it's not even a multiple choice question. It's not like who's your baby daddy? Choose between A, B, C, D, and E. It's just one answer. Unhlanhla ubaba wengane yami, uMusa ubaba wengane yami, Samuel. You know, with Samuel, okay? If they say, where is he? You can just say, I don't know, he works overseas or something, if you don't want people to bother you with that information. But I just feel like it's an easy answer. Why is it such a mystery who your baby daddy is? Okay, you are in the mommy club, so people are going to want to know who your baby daddy is, okay? I feel like she's like doing a long division, like the way that she looks like her brain is spinning every time that question is coming up. Who's your baby daddy? That she's doing long division. You remember long division at school? You calculate the exercise from the top to the bottom, doing the calculation, just trying to find one answer. For 2 marks. I feel like that. I feel like every time they ask her who's the baby daddy, she's doing long division, multiplying in. You remember probability on statistics? I feel like she was doing that table probability. Every time, every time someone says, who's your baby daddy? She's like, it could be this one, and then it could be this one, it could be but then again, I am a public figure, so why do you care? I'm like, yes, exactly. That's why we care, because you are a public figure. And the more she does not want to answer the question, the more you really think like, Gandhi, who is your baby daddy? Do you even know who your baby daddy is? Okay. Other circumstances, you guys, I would say, listen, it's none of our business. And I'm like, but here it's at the mommy club, okay? If we are going to know the mommy, we are going to want to know the daddy, especially if you are avoiding the question of who the baby daddy is. Why is it such a difficult question? Multiplication. It was like, my baby, multiplier 9 times 15. Those types of qualification. You're like, yeah, I need a calculator here. I need a calculator, and not the simple one, the way you calculate your groceries, 20 rand plus 50 rand. The financial calculator, you remember the financial calculator that has buttons that you never use, but the teacher keeps talking about this button that it's confusing you. I feel like, yes, the question who Omuhle's baby daddy is, it's becoming like that, okay? It's like financial statements, you're trying to balance the balance sheets, but there's like, 50,000 that you don't know where the teacher got it from. But Aki balance sheet, it looks right, but it just doesn't balance. I'm like, it must be more simple than that to just say who your baby daddy is. But anyway, you guys, she ended up not answering the question. So during the ride, they're talking about what happened at the event. I do feel like, you guys, as much as Mrs. Mops is not going to say, Miss Mops does want to be the queen of the show. That's the reason she's upset that Miss Manchi didn't walk out of that event at the last time with her. Why are you not walking out of the event? If the queen is walking out, the followers must follow me, So she's upset about that. And I think that's why this time she came for Miss Manchi, because she's like, how can I walk out and you don't walk out? I brought you to this show. If she was being honest, she was going to say that, but she did not say that, you guys. So of course, this is the thing, though, you guys, that the reason I'm saying that Uhappy is behaving like a follower on the show, because while they are riding to the event, she's saying, listen, this time I am not at Nunu Rai's house, because she says the only reason that she was not doing the back and forth with Nunu Rai and her friend is because she was respecting Nunu Rai's event and respecting Nunu Rai's home. She says, now we're at a neutral place. So if you come for me, I'll come for you. Okay. Because we're at a neutral place. But I think that she was hoping that Mrs. Mops is going to say the same. Listen, if they come for me, I'm coming for them too. But that's not what Mrs. Mops said. So when they got to the event, did she do the back and forth with everybody? No. When Mrs. Mops decided to opted to keep quiet, she opted to keep quiet too. That's why I say that Happy is a follower, because her intention initially was that, listen, we are at a neutral place this time. I'm not respecting nobody's space. So if they talk to me, I will talk back. But then when she's there, because Mrs. Mops is acting different, she decides to act different too. That's why I'm saying that she is a follower too, you guys. And then Abonono right there with Ratile and Nabo, they are throttling each other, okay? Because listen, I do understand that Ratile is looking for friends on the show because none of the friendship have stuck when it comes to her. Other people are able to build friendships, and friendships are falling off and all of that, but she hasn't been able to. So I understand her not wanting to mess things with Nonorai. But I think you can say to a friend, but a friend, now you were wrong, okay? I mean, I was gonna ask her, but a friend, can you just answer me this? Did you really bring your friend from Zimbabwe to fight Omuhle about this one issue? It was really just a coincidence that she was there and we ended up talking about this issue. I was going to ask that, okay? So it's like she doesn't really want to say anything against Nunurai. And also, you guys, she will take any opportunity to go after Uhepi, even when it's unnecessary, even when it's not about Uhepi, she will take an opportunity to go after Uhepi. Everybody seems to have an issue with Miss Manche trying to be a mega person because they're feeling like Miss Manche is not really, her hands are not that clean. And I agree with that, you guys. But I feel like, I do feel like on the show, we need somebody to play that part because nobody else is playing that part of being a little bit of a matured one because everybody was just acting immature, you guys. So, oh yes, another issue that everybody has another thing that they have an issue with is Nurura Rice saying an F word at her place, okay? Because I think she said a few to the people, okay, at her place. So I guess the other group is expecting an apology, but also Nunura is like, listen, you guys also called me ghetto, and you guys are also not saying what your opinion is when it comes to the homophobic comment. How do you feel about it? So just because someone is your friend doesn't mean that that comment was not wrong. So I don't know, you guys. I think this part Nunurai's group was expecting that the other group was going to apologize, and that group was expecting that the other people are going to apologize. And then there was Miss Manche in the middle, okay, who ended up crying last episode for no reason at all. You know, she was crying because it wasn't about her. Because that was basically it. It wasn't the episode was not about her. She just wanted the attention on her, you guys. So they arrive, you guys. They sit down. Miss Manche is like the last one to arrive. She's trying to keep the energy up. She calls herself what? Mrs. Vibes. Mrs. Vibes. She arrives, but I think she was just trying to, keep an upbeat energy in the room. But everybody was just down and all of that. Guys, let me say this, guys. Why do I feel like some of the ladies, let me say, some of the ladies are in them shows, Kanyimba, Kelly Kumalo club? Eh? Did you look? Oh, you must look at this. There's three ladies that I'm like, yeah, I'm sure a club here. I'm sure a club here. And some of them, like, this the skin looks different from one episode to the next. I was like, last episode you were not looking this light skin, and this episode, and then when you see the hand, you're like, yeah, hey, this is that Mshoza group, Mshoza. I'm sure the association of skin color. I feel like, yeah, at least three ladies are looking like, yeah, this is a Mshoza group. Just look at their hands, guys. They never lie. Look at this and look at this. Then you're like, yes, the Mshoza group. Mshoza and a little association of skin color. Guys, doesn't our skin just look nice? Like, just like this. Why do they do these things to themselves? But anyway, you guys, so when they sit down, Miss Manche start talking about, listen, you guys, I think we do need to iron things up. There's a lot of tension here. This is at the time where Uratire had gone to try and find the waitress or waiter to come and assist them. You guys, I didn't even see them drink some drinks. Oh, they did at the end. They were eating, I think, because they were so focused on the drama. So Ratila had gone to look for the waitress. So she starts a conversation. Miss Manche starts a conversation. I think, honestly, you guys, at the table, it was uncomfortable for them to sit there being quiet. So she started a conversation. But I do agree with the fact that it wasn't her event. So the purpose of them getting together should have been explained by Uratile, because Ratile was the host, okay? And but I didn't feel like it was something to fight over too, because at the end of the day, they were there somewhere to talk. So if anybody starts a conversation and say, listen, you guys, we have issues with each other, let's just sit down and talk. Doesn't even matter who starts the conversation, as long as at the end of the day, the conversation is started and the conversation takes place. They seem to be upset that, she's starting a conversation. Okay. Like I said, you guys, Mrs. Mobs is really upset that Miss Matcha is not treating her like the queen that she thinks she is, relating to the group. Okay, she's upset that she doesn't follow her around when she walks out of event. She's not walking out with her, so she's irritated by everything that Miss Matcha is doing. So when she starts a conversation, she's irritated by that. Right? Sile comes back and said, "Listen, you guys. By the way, I am the host." And then Mrs. Mobs is like, listen, you shouldn't be the one to talk, actually talking to Miss Manche. We are papa. Guys, listen. I've never in my life had a friend say we are papa, unless someone do we are papa. Yes. But on a serious thing, trying to, in a way, offend you, would say, why are you starting a conversation? This is not your event. We are speed, just stop right there. It's Ratile's event. I did feel like we are speed a little bit, but I feel like if someone is your friend, you're not going to say that to them. Maybe because you're going to say, listen, my friend, can we just wait for Ratile? Because remember, it's her event. Maybe she wants us to do something different, or she has maybe some method. Maybe there's questions somewhere that we're going to ask and then end up resolving things. I don't know, we're going to play a game or something. But she's irritated with Miss Manche. So they have that exchange. It was uncomfortable to watch because, of course, in the beginning of the show, they were trying to tell us that they are friends, but their friendship was also very suspicious because how are you friends with somebody that you've only ever communicated with on Instagram? Guys, people I follow on Instagram are not my friends, okay? Even when I've loved every single picture that they've posted online, okay? And also, if we end up meeting some one day, it's not going to be like an immediate friendship, okay? They seem to have thought that was going to happen with them, and it hasn't happened. So she's irritated, and Miss Much is like, "Listen, I understand what you're saying, but why would you say, yeah, Papa? Why are you speaking to me like that? That is not the way that we speak to each other, as friends, So now you have tension now between Mrs. Mobs and Miss Manche, you guys. So now, of course, when they start a conversation, you guys, they want to talk about whatever the issues were from the last event that they had, which was Nunu Rai's event. Nunu Rai doesn't want to hear it when it comes to her baby crying. Why are you bothered with the fact that my baby was crying? She's offended that they said that her friend flew all the way from Zimbabwe to address Omuhle. And Mrs. Mobs is still saying the same thing. She's like, she actually doubled down on it to say, yeah, actually, the event was not about launching your products. The event was about Omuhle. You planned the whole event so that you could attack Omuhle. So there was the whole point that you planned that event, which also doesn't help the situation because Nunurai also is feeling offended now by that statement. So it's like nothing was getting resolved, you guys. So and Miss Mancha was talking about the fact that she was starting a conversation was that she does not want to be fake. But it's funny because a lot of the times I feel like she's the fakiest of them all because I feel like she's trying to be perfect. She's trying to act a role, okay? In a reality show, you need people that are fighting and you need somebody that is trying to make peace. She's trying to make that, to be that person. But she's not really, because even in the Nunurai and Omuhle situation, she's trying to be the middle person, but she's not, because she was on Nunurai's side. She was one of the people that were saying, listen, you are trending online with this baby daddy thing. So why wouldn't you want to answer that question? Initially, that was the side she took. So it's weird that now she wants to be the middle person. But at the same time, I'm like, but who's going to play that role? Okay. So they have that exchange, and Nunurai was trying to ask them exactly, why did you walk out of the event? Why did you walk out of the event without us resolving things? Can you tell me what the reason was? Like when you see them sitting like this, that's the question that they were being asked. They did not want to answer. Mrs. Mobs was acting like she's over it. She's over being there within the right. Under normal circumstances, you guys, when it's like these were genuine friendships, these were genuine friends that were spending time together. If you reach a point where you're feeling like, you know what, I don't want to have this conversation right now, I get how you can feel like that, but I feel like you're shooting the show. Bella, before we know it, we're going to have a silent show where we just watch people sit there and eat or something. And I'm like, no, they have to talk for us to get content. Okay, we switch on Showmax, we pay our Showmax. Okay, so we want to see people there looking cute in cute dresses and not talking to each other. That's not what we want to see. That's not what we pray for. Our subscription on Showmax is not for that. Okay, so it's weird that they didn't want to talk, they didn't want to answer. And it's almost like, oh, happy at points she wants to talk, but then she holds back because, of course, the boss here, her boss, Mrs. Mobs, is not talking. So it was weird, you guys. And I do feel as well that the thing that irritates Mrs. Mobs about Miss Mancha is that Miss Mancha is trying to act like she's the one that is a bigger person, a matured person. When I think that when she thought about the show, she probably thought she was going to be that person that was playing that. But she's very messy, and I think the other ladies are seeing that too, because even Ratile mentioned that she did come to her house and told her that the other ladies don't want to spend time with her. Okay, so the other reason that she did not want to talk at that last episode is because she does not want to be held accountable. She's the one that went and told Ratile that, listen, the other ladies were talking about you. And I don't even know why she was doing that, because she's not even that close to Ratile. She's close to Omuhle. We've realized that the only person that is a real friend to Mrs. Mobs is Omuhle. It's not Ratile. So the reason that she was trying to tell Ratile, listen, the other ladies are saying they don't really want to spend time with you. She had said that. So I feel like the other reason she was keeping quiet, she did not want to account for her action. Okay. And how are we supposed to get the finale episode with people that I don't want to talk, don't want to speak, So it was a weird one, you guys. It really was. Okay. So, and then at some point, she walks out to Mrs. Mobs because she does not want to answer anything that is being spoken about. Okay. And Happy, honestly, you guys, she almost walked out with her. At some point, she's even giving her some water. I'm like, hi, Happy. I now are you a maid now to Mrs. Mobs? Why couldn't she stay? Because she walked out and go sit at a separate place. Why couldn't she stand up and come and sit and come and take her own water? Now she's asking for water. Now Happy has to give her some water. Listen, Mrs. Mobs in this episode I did not like. Okay, and Happy I did not like, because I think they could have still got a really good scene on that scene with just so Happy addressing issues with Nunurai and Ratile, because remember, there's still issues between Ratile and Happy because of what Happy had said about what Ratile had said about Uhappy, but they just couldn't do it because, of course, if Mrs. Mobs is not talking, then nobody's going to talk, because they're all trying to follow her. And I understand it a little bit because, of course, Mrs. Mobs has done reality show before, and maybe some of them have that thing that she knows better. So maybe if she doesn't really want to say much on the scene, maybe it's not a good idea to say much. But yes, you guys, it was just that irritation. Okay. So now Ratila decides she wants to address her issues with Happy. And then just out of nothing, she ends up saying, listen, I know that the reason that you don't want to talk to me is because you don't want to address what you've said to me, because you've said something to me that is very incriminating. Out of nothing, you guys. Happy hadn't really said much. Okay, that's what Ratile says. Apparently, they were talking. Her and Happy were talking, and she had shared something with her that is incriminating. So she is saying that that's the reason that she does not want her to talk. But I'm like, but that doesn't make sense, because actually, Happy thought you were her friend. You were the one that betrayed Happy, because Happy brought you to the show, and she was acting like a friend to you until you were telling the other ladies that she was the one that liked Cloud. That's how she stopped being your friend. Okay. So why are you throwing this at the table? Okay. I think that honestly, Uratile was told by Mrs. Mobs that the other ladies don't want to spend time with you. And remember, Ratile joined the show in the middle of the season. Okay. She's not even over here, is she? Is this her? Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, this is Ratile. But when the show started, for a few episodes, we did not see Ratile. So it almost like Ngaiti, they decided sometime during the season that they wanted to add her. So I guess maybe while shooting the show, she wasn't even sure if she is a cast member or a friend of the show. And she wants to keep her place on the show. And she wanted to throw something at the table, some bomanyana that was possibly going to exploit and then explode, and then we were going to get something out of that scene. But since Happy didn't reply to that, we did not get to know what it was. Okay, apparently there's some messages that she had screenshot and saved, and Happy might not be happy with the other ladies knowing what was on those screenshots. Honestly, you guys, if you are trying to fix things with somebody that you were building a friendship with and you betray them, because that's what happened between Happy and Ratile. They were building a friendship, and then Ratile went and spoke about Happy behind her back, and then Happy started feeling like, wait a minute, you are not my friend. I thought you were my friend, but you're actually not my friend. Okay, so now you guys, it's like, if you are trying to fix that, why would you just all of a sudden throw something at the table like, listen, there's something that I have against you, and it's a communication that you had? Because if you were speaking as people that were building a friendship, why would you throw that suddenly at the table? Okay, so I felt like it's not working for her. She's working hard to stay on the show, but that's not going to help her build friendships on the show. Because even Miss Mancha was like, didn't you guys share that as friends? She was saying it in a data session. If they shared whatever they shared as friends, why would you bring that up now? So that just really shows that you're not trying to build genuine friendships. You're trying to fight for your position on the show. You're trying to say this to the producers: listen, I'm the one that will do anything to stay on the show. I'm the one that is going to be willing to start drama if I need to start drama just to stay on the show. Okay, so the whole boat ride was a mess. Everybody wants, not everybody, but Happy and Mrs. Mobs could not wait to get out of the boat. You guys, I don't even know, was that boat moving? I didn't even see much movement. I was like, just jump in the water and swim to the other side. Okay, that is if they can swim. So they wanted to get out of the boat, and eventually they do get out because they did not want to talk. The other ladies are staying behind, they're eating. And I guess Mrs. Mobs is still going to have an issue with it because when she walks out, Happy follows. She even forgets her hat. And then Nura is like, I Mrs. Nurses Kogosakola. And then they walk out, you guys. The others are left behind. And nothing was resolved. It did not feel like a finale. Nothing was finalized. Nothing was resolved. Even the drama that we got was mostly one sided because the other part was not really answering. I was like, guys, if they want to know how to do a finale, they must go watch Real Housewives of Durban, okay? If they want to end the season with drama, that's how you end it with drama. So it just didn't work for everybody. You guys, it did not work for the show to have one side willing to talk, but the other side, you're not willing to talk. Guys, you're on my video. Don't talk about confidential stuff. So yes, you guys, that's how it went. So they left, and then that was it, you guys. It did not feel like a finale. Anyway, you guys, so then the next scene, of course, we get the finalization now of the season, where I feel like the producer said, listen, Omuhle, let's just get this scene done because we don't want people to think that we are accepting not homophobic, xenophobic. Did I say homophobic the whole time? Xenophobic. Come on, did I say homophobic? Did I say homophobic? Hey, guys, hey, it's xenophobic. Guys, English, xenophobic comments. Okay, so they fixed that by sitting down, and they had an apology, and of course she was still avoiding the question, who's the baby daddy and all of that. And yes, you guys, but she did apologize, you guys. I guess we have to take that apology, but I'm not Zimbabwean, so I don't know if the Zimbabweans will take the apology. I still feel like I'm glad they did do that apology thing, even though I question how genuine it was, because it did kind of feel like it was something that was arranged by the producer. But yeah, she was saying, imagine Kim Kardashian being concerned about people making comments about her online. I'm like, girl, you are not Kim Kardashian. You know, not even the Kim Kardashian of South Africa. We've got some Kim Kardashian-ish people here, but you are not one of those. Yes, you guys. So we still don't know who the baby daddy is. She's not willing to answer that question. Anyway, you guys, let me do the comment section and then we can close. Okay, it's time to close. Thank you so much. The Blue Clinic by Dr. Tabile, guys, please check out her channel. Okay, very educational content over there. Okay. Madam Blue Clinic, yes, go check out the Blue Clinic, you guys. The consistency with the thanks is definitely putting a lot of good pressure on. Yes, the pressure must be on. I'm sorry, envious and actually happy for Omuhle for receiving so much love and support. Thank you so much. She gives us free advertising platform. Yes, you must advertise your channel, even in the comment section. I know, hey, and the day now ngicela ukuhola ngizomkhulu. Nihola mhla kabani over there. Hey, boy, thank you guys for joining me. You've been recapping about homophobic apology all this time. And I think in other videos as well, I've been saying homophobic. Guys, it's a phobia of some point, of some kind. It's xenophobic. It's xenophobic because she made a comment. Anyway, you guys, let me close. It's load shedding. Thank you so much for watching this video. Anyway, it is xenophobic. Comments that she had made, you guys. It was an error on my side. It was a best on the comment section. They commented before they get to the end and find out. It's a good. I corrected it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, it's load shedding now. Please do not forget to like the video. And also, if you are in a Wi-Fi free zone, do not forget to let the stream run so that we can make some money on the adverts. Thank you so much. Share the video with your friends or with your family and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.